Lucky Lefty Podcast. Happy Saturday to everyone. Onora boys, we're in the building. We're brought to you by ONORA Whiskey, ONORAWhiskey.com. It's that premium American whiskey, ONORAWhiskey.com. And also courtesy of Believe Network. Believe in Notre Dame, believe in LL. And if you're going to do it, make sure you do it. You got to unmute yourself and say it, Left.
Responsibly.
Let's get it. Lucky Lefty, ONORA Whiskey, Believe Network, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Go tap in for the audio edibles each and every day over at Believe. Subscribe, share, hit that thumbs up. The like button helps with the views. Leave your comments, questions. We respond to all. You already know. Patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. Players Lounge. Players only. Lucky Legends. Home of the misguided passion left. Forever committed to making sure that we spin it different. Get your GTB questions in. It's Saturday. You know what I mean? Let's get it done. Let's talk Notre Dame football. We're going to hear from Juan Seider, running back coach. We're going to hear from the Notre Dame running backs, Jeremiah Love, Jadarian Price. They got Jadarian Price. Might have a Scottie Pippen complex. We'll talk about that. He might have a little Scottie Pippen complex. Aeneas Williams, Jabron Payne. Salute to you, sir. To see a cat like Jabron Payne is a real OG because soft cats would have transferred. They would have looked at everything in that room after the injury and was like, you know what? Let me go find somewhere else to play. Salute to you, OG. We'll hear from you as well. And then the young bull that is known as Kedron Young. I mean that literally and figuratively. He is the young bull. We'll hear from those guys as well. And then, man, literally and figuratively. And I'm going to sit down because I've gotten a lot of conversation, whether it's on the board or in the chat and comments after yesterday's show left. I'm going to explain why Notre Dame possibly is moving the way they're moving concerning the 27 quarterbacks. I'm going to look at both sides. And even looking at both sides, to me, in my opinion, it's still a little weird. It's still a little weird, but we'll talk. Super chats, get them in. Because we're definitely going to talk about those. Excuse me for a second. There we go. Let's see. Okay, cool. I'm sorry. I had a little technical difficulty on my end, Left. So, how was your evening, Left? You know my evening went well. You know
yes,
my evening.
Yeah.
You know my evening went well. You know what I mean? I didn't do the wings. I thought about doing wings, but we ended, had short time, so I did my own. See, this is what I do. I did my own burrito bowl at the crib.
Like Chipotle?
Yes. I had already bought some seasoned. You know, I can go to the butcher around the crib. They already have the taco meat, chicken taco meat with the onions and peppers and seasoning already in it, already prepared.
You just throw it on the Blackstone.
Yeah, so I usually give me about 2 pounds at the beginning of the week because I know at some point I'm going to use it. Threw it in there real quick, chefed it up, had me some black beans already stored away. Threw me a little bit of that cilantro lime rice in there. I had the fresh pico de gallo, but I also get the mango de gallo and throw it in there.
Mango de gallo?
Yeah, the mango de gallo with a little bit of the balsamic vinaigrette. You know what I'm saying? Dab of sour cream. I did my thing. And we keep tortilla chips fully stocked at all times. So give me a quick Chipotle-like meal to watch the game, watch my line, I get it done. Really, man, the men's, we had 1-5-12 upset, but it's pretty much been scratch. It's been scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been scratch.
Are you guys advancing to the next round?
Luke Breeding, man, this is a true story. I hate avocado and I hate guacamole. Listen to me, Left. Don't scrunch your face up.
And you're coming out west?
Can you let me finish, love? Let me finish. But that's been because for me, it has a funny aftertaste. I don't know. For me, it's always had a funny aftertaste. So it kind of throws me off. Until I went to LA to the market and I had Villa Tacos.
Oh, yeah.
The market.
Yeah.
And they put the guac in the top, the way they do it, and then they have I forget the tortilla is brown. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but it's brown. Left. Yo. I was like, okay, that is the only spot where I actually eat guacamole on my taco. Yeah. Villa Tacos, dope spot in the market downtown. It's absolutely amazing. But somebody in the chat, I never heard of this, dude.
Pineapple guacamole.
The pineapple, Luke Breeding. Thank you. Luke said try the pineapple guacamole. I would not be
opposed.
No, I would not be opposed to trying that, love.
I was about to say, you talking about you don't like guacamole. You coming out to guacamole state.
You know.
Avocado, everything.
They'll get over it. They'll get over
it. They'll find a guacamole you're going to like now. They got it all
here. Yeah. They'll get over it. But my wife and my daughter, they eat it with like chips.
Everything.
She puts it on her toast. She puts it on her toast. Everything.
That's the wave. You gonna catch on, Sean. You gonna catch on.
Nah, bro. I will. We talked about palates last night. I have a very stubborn palate. It's diverse. I don't even know. This doesn't even make sense. I can't even believe I'm about to say it because it really doesn't make any sense. I have a diverse palate, but it's stubborn. That doesn't even go together.
So things that you're not trying.
Nah, you can't talk me into it.
Sound good.
Yeah, no, it's not happening. You can't make it sound good. You can't convince me. Just let it be. Just let it be.
Things that I'll try. Though.
Yes. Because obviously the things that I won't try, I've already tried in some sense.
Yeah, it was an experience.
And I was like, nah, not doing it. Like people will, till this day, and if you guys want to take my black card, that's fine. I just don't do banana pudding. I know, Left. Don't be this.
You haven't had a good one?
Maybe that's it. I know for sure I'm a texture person, Left.
And the pudding would
everybody on. No, it's not that, dude. It's the sogginess. I'm like, dude.
But that's banana anything.
Nah, Left. I already know it's coming right back up, bro.
But you don't like sweet though.
I love sweet? This is the crazy thing, dude. I buy a bunch of bananas every week. Like I eat bananas like crazy.
But everybody knows a ripe banana is way different texturally and just everything visually. You know, when it gets
I can't, bro. I don't. It was whatever that early experience was. It's like I'm good.
Like you can't wait. Have you?
But however, it's a gentleman. It's a gentleman at my church. He's a good friend of the family. His family usually comes over on holidays, and he has a dessert that is a derivative of banana pudding, but he uses strawberries and pineapples and a graham cracker crust. So it's like a banana pudding. I will indulge in that every now and then because the texture, I just can't. I don't know what it is, man.
You just won't. It's like you won't even.
And like you said, some people don't know how to make the banana pudding the way it needs to be made. Like the bananas have to be a certain way.
Yes.
They can't be overripe. You know what I'm saying? And some people just mess it up for others, man. They just mess it up for others. Left, they do.
I feel like that about cheesecake. I can't have cheesecake. I had a bad experience, and then I just thinking about it, it's cheese and it's dessert.
Well, that's kind of universal. I can't, you know.
Oh, okay. That's not a.
Yeah, I can't really mess with your black card over cheesecake.
Okay.
No,
but the banana,
no.
I think you just gotta have.
Now, if you had said I don't do peach cobbler, then it's like, okay, now we have to have a conversation.
Patti LaBelle has a fantastic banana pudding.
Does she?
Walmart. Patti
has a fantastic sweet potato pie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Patty's been known as a fantastic cook.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if that was. Didn't know. She has a great banana pudding in Walmart.
She's famously known as a cook.
I mean,
out here in these streets. Oh, for sure.
So she got good banana pudding, and then I don't know if you'll try it, but I like hers. You know, she does.
Like, what's the one thing we're going to bring this up as an LL question? Because this is what podcast PG. That's who I am, love.
Yeah.
What for you? What's the one thing where you look at somebody strange when they say, you immediately want to pull the black card when they say, I don't like this.
And they don't like pepper on their food.
You mean like actual green hot peppers?
No, not hot peppers, but pepper.
Oh,
like
pepper.
Yeah.
Salt and pepper. Okay.
Yeah. Put some pepper on your food now.
Okay.
I enjoy pepper in my eggs. I enjoy pepper in. I need pepper on my salad.
You got to put pepper.
Oh, salad.
Oh, but pause. I'll pause myself. I almost did the action. Let me stop. I like when you go to the restaurant. Give you more pepper, and they bring the pepper.
Yeah, you gotta.
Almost.
Yeah, absolutely, almost.
Oh, it's Saturday, man. If
you don't put pepper on your food, I'm a question. What? How'd you grow up?
Okay.
You gotta put that pepper on it, man.
You gotta put pepper on everything.
I mean, you got to.
Okay.
I mean, what else do you put?
I'm lenient when it comes to food. I really am.
Okay,
because the world, maybe 20 years ago, I was a little more strict, but like the world's evolved. Everybody's trying different things.
They are trying different things.
Having different experiences. Absolutely.
In certain songs, I would say certain songs. If you haven't heard certain songs, that's the easy.
I might put your black card up for review if you say you don't like or have never seen Martin.
Oh, yeah.
Like stuff like that.
But you wouldn't say it, though, if you haven't seen Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, though.
That's tough.
To say Martin specifically, though, not because Martin is different culturally than Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I don't think so. I think Fresh Prince was grounded in the culture. It just had a further reach than Martin did.
It was Drake.
It ended up being, man.
It was Drake.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not about to argue with that. Yeah. It's the Drake of
Drake is
sitcoms. It is. That's a good call. So what is the one thing that someone can say, Notre Dame fans, that makes you question their Notre Dame fandom? What's the one thing that someone can say that makes you say, are you really a Notre Dame fan?
Join the conference. That's
a good one, Left. That's a good one. I'll give you another one. We need to get rid of the stripes in the end zone.
Oh my God! Yeah,
I'll give you another one. Why don't we have our advertisement in the stadium?
Oh my God!
There's a bunch of them. It's a bunch. Brian Kelly is the greatest head coach at Notre Dame. Are you really a Notre Dame fan?
Well, he's the
You need to do your homework. Yeah,
no,
I got some good ones. I got some good ones. I got some good ones. Ooh,
we need black jerseys.
Black jerseys.
Need that's a good one. That's a great one.
That's a good one. This is a great conversation for a Saturday. Let us know. Let us know. This is a great conversation.
Oh man, this is a good one.
Look, Breen said Ian Book is the GOAT. See?
He's the winningest quarterback. He
is.
What does that make you? I don't know. I mean, it makes you something.
Hey, original Clyde the Glide. What's up, sir? Hey, yeah, if you got a proper cornbread dressing, yeah. Hey, that's a good one, Clyde. I'm gonna keep it a buck. That's a good one. Absolutely. 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 And see, that's the thing, man. We have these universal things that connect us culturally, but it all becomes independent to the preparer of the food.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
The wrong person can send you off for the rest of your life.
Yeah, no, for real.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have the wrong banana pudding and you're literally missing out. I'm preaching to myself, and you're probably missing out on one of the greatest culinary joys. Yeah. All because of one person. You know what I'm saying? All because of one person. Original Clyde the Glide said they hated Rudy the movie. Yeah.
Rudy just, man.
John Massey. Adam Blair said Deshaun was better than Left.
I love the opinions, guys. Love the opinions. Good, bad, or indifferent.
John Massey, Lil Tunchi said Jack Cohn is the GOAT.
Jack Cohn is the best transfer quarterback we've ever had.
Hey, facts. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. By the numbers.
But just the moments. I just remember there's 3 distinct moments with Jack Cohn. You know, so popping his finger in on a touchdown next play.
That's an OG.
Whole game, and then the Florida State game went crazy. And he was crazy.
Yeah. Lucky Lefty. If you have some more, throw them in the chat. Your GTB questions and your super chats are welcome. We get to them immediately. We spin it different. So let me explain this before we hear from Juan Seider left. So yesterday I was talking about 27 quarterback Trey Taylor out of Carmel Catholic here in the Chicago area. He visited, and before the visit, we had a discussion, and he was talking about how the communication process was almost non-existent or had fallen off between he and Notre Dame. He released his top 25 on Valentine's Day. I mean, his top 5 on Valentine's Day. Notre Dame was not part of the top 5. After he released his top 5, Carter Allman traveled up to Chicago to visit him. I just want to make sure I get the timeline. He drops his top 5. Notre Dame gets on the road and goes to see him. After that, communication picks back up. He comes to visit March the 21st. He had a clear plan. He said, I need to hear from Marcus Freeman. I need to know exactly where I stand on their board. And I need to make sure that communication is going to pick back up to solidify the relationship. And I need to see the offense with a throwing quarterback. Not my words, his words.
Oh, he said.
Not my words.
Oh my gosh. We got recruits saying that. They must be watching our podcast.
His words.
He said that. There's no way he's telling Denbrock that, because that means
no. This is one of the most honest, and not honesty in being shady.
No,
honest and transparent. He has said this before. He came to visit in a game week and said, man, I don't run the football. That's not what I do. That's not what I do. He was very honest. He said, I can't see myself in the offense. He said, I have to wait to see.
Quarterback. That's the second quarterback in the recruiting trail that said that.
So here's where the differences pop up. There are people that are Notre Dame fans that seem like, before I get to this. So after the visit, we talked and he let it be known. Finally, people were asking, what is Notre Dame doing at quarterback in 27? And finally, they shared with him what their plans were. They're going to go visit. Jamison Purcell was also there yesterday. We haven't seen his film yet, Left. I'll let you break down his film sometime next week. Jamison Purcell was also there. So you have five quarterbacks Notre Dame's looking at.
It's a lot of guys.
Yes. Not really, because remember last year they had 8. They had 8 quarterbacks they were looking at.
They didn't fly to all 8, did they?
Here's the thing. We're about to get to that. So now we can figure out what the difference is. And then I'll let you answer it for me, Left, as an evaluator, because you evaluate kids coming into the high school ranks and going out of the high school ranks. So Trey basically said Notre Dame is not going to give offers until May. The Blue and Gold game is April the 12th. I think after the Blue and Gold game, they have about 2 more weeks of recruiting, approximately somewhere in there, or maybe a week and a half of recruiting. And after that, Notre Dame will go out and personally watch all of these quarterbacks throw in person. And after they watch, they will then give the offers in early. Trey Taylor said he has absolutely no issue. He said, make sure that everyone knows that I'm not offended by the non-offer. Notre Dame has been honest with me from the jump, but it doesn't change my timeline one bit. And it doesn't change my top 5. I can't put a team that hasn't offered me in my top 5. Those are exact words. I can't do it.
Yeah, I do you.
Today, Venus Taylor, I talked to him last night, him and his dad, they left South Bend. They drove straight down to Athens. They left South Bend yesterday, drove straight to Athens. He's down in Georgia, who's the second team outside of his top 5 that's getting a spring visit. Is Notre Dame and Georgia are the 2 teams outside of his top 5 that are getting visits. They drove down to Georgia, talked to him extensively yesterday, wake up this morning, and there he is in the building taking a picture with Taylor Taylor. Now, why is this important? Why is this important? Well, it's important because Taylor Taylor, you remember, is the wide receiver from Illinois, Chicago area. Pretty much a 5-star in my opinion. Notre Dame never had a shot, and it had nothing to do with Notre Dame. The young man, he wanted to go play. Georgia is one of his favorite schools. It just is what it is. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. He gave Tennessee a shot. I think he gave Michigan a shot, a few other schools, but at the end of the day, it was Georgia's race to lose. So now I see him down there hugged up, and Venus Taylor, who was a fat man, she was fantastic to talk to during the recruiting process. Taylor's mom posts a picture of them in the building, just, man, chilling, hugged up, enjoying the visit. And see, this is the danger. So now that I set the table, this is the danger. Last year, Notre Dame played the bowl game had their junior day. After their junior day, the entire staff flew out to California. I believe they saw Brady Smigel up close and personal. They saw Ryder Lyons. They went and they saw Brady Hart. They went and saw Noah Grubbs. They literally physically, as a staff, went and saw these quarterbacks in person in the month of January. All right. Now you can say to yourself, they couldn't do that because they were in the playoffs this year. So they really didn't have a chance to do that. That's fine. You could have done it during the open period, though. You're not chasing a quarterback in 26. So while Al Washington, Mike Denbrock, Mike Mickens, and the rest of the staff were on the road, you already have your 26 quarterback. What was Gino Guidugli doing during the open period? See, this is where I get the confusion, Left. All right, that's fine. That's fine. But you can't sit here and say you didn't have an open period to go see these kids throw. You know why? You know why, Left?
Why?
The day before Carter Allman went to see Trey Taylor, 10 Division I schools, Power 4 schools, were at Trey Taylor's school watching him throw. See, this is why you can't fool. Michigan, Texas A&M, all the schools that offered him went and watched him throw. A day before Notre Dame got there. See, this is the problem. This is the problem. You got Noah Grubbs, Left. You got Noah Grubbs. You're not looking at 26 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You have time to go look at quarterbacks throw. What happened? What happened? I feel like it's a fair question, Left. What happened? Michigan and Texas A&M were out on the road watching Trey Taylor throw. What happened? What happened? You do what you want to do. But you're not on the road looking for quarterbacks in the 26 class. The rest of the staff is looking at defensive tackles, defensive end, linebackers, wide receivers, offensive linemen. They're doing their due diligence. What was the quarterback coach doing?
Yeah.
What was he doing?
That's what I'll be saying.
If all of the other coaches were on the road from other big-time schools looking at the 27 quarterbacks throw, what was the quarterback coach in Notre Dame doing? I just think it was a fair question.
And that's where the hope that he's been putting in the work on them boys in the room. That's where the production has to, because you wasn't required to coach these last 2 years. Recruiting you was, like you said, it was quiet on your end. We know we lost Deuce. So, recruiting wasn't all in and all focused because of the things that we couldn't secure. So why are you not? Why are you not looking for quarterbacks and seeing them in person and putting the effort to build the room even more, unless you put all your eggs in the basket of developing the guys in the room, preparing for this year specifically. You developed a franchise quarterback. Mm-hmm. You've had 2 quarterbacks that the program has been recruiting, one in the 26 and one in the 27, say the same thing. I need to see a guy throw the football in this Division I college football offense. It's unbelievable to say in 2025. So that means Gino Guidugli, you need to be able to produce a quarterback and throw the football in an offense in 2025. So this is where all chips are in on Gino's evaluation, and the complaints that we've gotten from that position have to be fixed today, because it's twice as bad if you flew under the radar this long and the problem still isn't addressed.
So let's look at it, Left. I'm open to conversation. See, that to me, that's a head scratcher. I don't get that. I get not doing it in January, and the person that set everything up and ran everything is at USC.
It's at USC, yeah.
It's at USC. So that's enough. Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. However, you had time when the open period was there. And for some reason, no one went to see these quarterbacks in the 27 class. Who you going to see?
Yeah.
Who you going to see? Did they send you out to see the wide receivers? Were you helping recruit the defensive linemen? What were you doing at that point in time? Maybe you were back on campus working with the 3 guys you got in your current roster. Okay, if that's the case, getting them ready for spring and their quarterback battle, that's fine. That's fine. Schedule got pushed back a little bit. We had to push it. That's fine. Unfortunately, when you have other schools showing interest, coming to see kids during the open period, and then
maybe
for those of you out there, for those of you,
that's a reflection, though. Like you said, maybe that's a reflection of not being able to show anything.
No, let me ask you. This is my question. Who's the voice? Who's the voice when it comes to recruiting now? That's Chad had a very big voice in recruiting at every position. Very much influenced when offers went out. Now that he's gone,
yeah.
Who's that voice? What's changed? Because people are like, I don't mind them waiting because of the current status of the room. Now, see here, right. I would agree with you. I would agree with you. Guess what, Left?
They're not waiting on that.
Very quietly, Mike Mickens brought a kid on campus that just reclassified to the 25 class, Left. He just reclassified to the 25 class.
Good old Mike Mickens up to the
right. Jabari Flowers, who most people think is a lock to go to Florida. He just reclassified. He was on campus this weekend. Let me ask you a question, Left. Is the defensive back room in pretty good shape?
Yeah, it's been
in pretty good shape.
Tremendously.
It's pretty thick up in there in the defensive back room.
Super thick.
I wonder why Mike Mickens would bring in a kid that just reclassified to 25 when the 25 class is. You know why Mike Mickens did it? Because Mike Mickens likes talent.
Yeah.
He likes to offer talent. He likes to offer talent. It's an offer. Like, let's not overthink this. For the people that want to say, well, maybe if they offer one of the kids might want to commit. Left. Let me give you a great example. Let's say you and I went out to the club tonight. Let's say I was in Arizona. We finished the show. I took a PJ. You picked me up at the airport. You like, SD, I got you. We're going out.
Right.
We go out. I just happen to have just the right cologne that fits the atmosphere out in Arizona and releases the most fantastic pheromones ever. And wherever we go into, I'm getting tons of attention. Tons are surrounded. They flocking to me, just eating it up, eating the conversation up, laughing, everything. Whose responsibility is it to stay loyal? Whose responsibility is it? Is it on the women to respect me, or is it upon me to respect me?
It's on you to respect you.
Okay, so I don't care who Notre Dame's offer. Is it up to Notre Dame to accept the offer, or is it up to the kid? Thank you, Left. I don't care if you offer them in January, February, March, April, May. Whoever wants to commit, it's your responsibility to say, not at this time. We're not taking your commitment at this time. What are we talking about? It's an offer. It's an offer.
You don't sign nothing till
it's not a signed contract.
Yeah.
It's literally an offer. That's it.
Yeah. You can say you're committed all you want. Doesn't matter. You got to sign something.
So we can simply just say, look, Notre Dame got behind schedule on the evaluation. They got behind schedule.
Yeah.
But understand, if you get behind schedule, it might cost you. It might cost you. But it's not genius. Notre Dame is not being genius. Like, oh my God, I love it. No, Notre Dame is not doing anything genius. This is not genius.
No.
Notre Dame simply got behind on the evaluation, and it could be impacted by the long run that went well into January, that put them in unfamiliar territory from a recruiting standpoint, because the season had been over by January 1st the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Your recruiting coordinator leaves the day before junior day. That's crazy work. And now the person that schedules everything for the coaches and what you're going to do from an evaluation, and is over majority time over the offers that go out, he's no longer there. There's a lot of factors that probably led to Notre Dame getting behind. But them being genius and doing something that, oh my God, they figured something out. No, they didn't. Well, they got a bunch of talent in the quarterback room. Mike Mickens does too. If you want talent, you go get it. Doesn't matter what the room looks like.
Yeah.
You're in acquisition as a position coach. Go get more talent.
Go get more talent.
Go get more talent.
Yeah.
Go get more talent.
That's why we were halfway upset with Deuce, is because that's the more talent that we need to be locking in. And you should never be thinking I shouldn't get a talented guy because of the room that I have. You should want to increase the talent in the room because now you have options, but also it makes each other better, and then you'll get a true champion out of it.
So I just want to clarify for everyone what happened, why it might have happened, and what's really going on, right? Because it's really not a reason to be at odds within the fan base. It just is what it is. And they might come up on the short end of the stick because of it. But there's plenty of talent out there. I've seen everybody's film that they like. The Bork kid, Taylor, the young man, I forget his name, out of Louisiana. Jamison Purcell is the only person I have not checked out his film. We'll check that out next week. Talented kids. If they're looking at them and they're on their board, I believe they're talented. But however you see it, you like it, you don't like it. The one thing we cannot do is sit here and act like upon something genius in the quarterback process in 2027. That's just not the case. That's not the case. So hopefully the viewings go well, the offers go out, and Notre Dame can close the deal. That's it. Lefty podcast. All right. And as far as Trey Taylor is concerned, as I said before, he's down in Georgia today. He'll come back Sunday, and Notre Dame will call and work in tandem with him to see when they can come up and watch him throw. And heck, dude, by April, it's probably going to be mid-60s.
Yeah.
The day he had teams looking at him throw, it was 29 degrees, bro. So it doesn't matter to him. Whatever conditions, whenever he's ready. Oh, he's totally confident. He's like, yeah, whenever they want to see me, let's get it. All right, Left. Juan Seider, new running back coach of Notre Dame, had the pleasure of speaking to the assembled media on yesterday. And He has some interesting things to say, Left. So I'll go ahead and play these things, and I'll let you rock out because he talked about the theme of the spring for his running backs. Juan Seider, new running back coach, Notre Dame.
Make the reps count because we're in spring. We still in the process of learning, new teaching, new read keys, new, a bunch of newness, right? So we talked early when we first got here being uncomfortable, and now it's time for us to be comfortable as a group. And I think we're starting to get to that point where they trust me, I trust them, and it's evolving.
And then with a guy like Jeremiah, who's obviously on a natural scale, how do you kind of push him this spring?
Listen, my whole life and philosophy, how I grew up as a coach, it doesn't matter if you're a national player. You coach your best players hard. Because if you don't, you fell on that kid in that moment. He don't improve, right? Last year is last year. Nobody cared about last year. This is a new year. We talked about new year, new us. I wasn't here. Nobody cared what Jeremiah Love did last year. It's what Jeremiah Love going to do this year. So that's kind of been our mindset because you have to have a growth mindset. Otherwise, you get complacent.
I'm gonna give him credit because that man said, don't care what Jeremiah Love did last year.
Well, you should.
I respect that
about the playoffs.
but that's coaching. That's coaching. That's the type of coaching you need for great players in particular.
That's definitely the type of coaching because that way it sets the stage for, like you said, evolution. You want to be able to take your game up from the next level. Read keys change. The game stays the same, but your knowledge is supposed to expand and grow. And he's a coach that's going to promote that. And it's in a good thing that he wasn't around last year, so he can't refer to things that were done last year. He has to keep these guys and continue to push these guys forward so that they don't get comfortable in the sense that they can rely on the things that they could get away with last year or whatever may have you. This is just a refreshing and a step up and a reproving. Whenever you're in a new relationship, there's a lot of proving that has to take place in a regaining and rebuilding, or not even rebuilding, or a building of trust. So there's some things you got to show Coach Seider as well, where it's like, oh well, okay, I know he was good, but I didn't know he could do that. And that way, it also
excuse you, bro. Excuse you. Caught you off guard.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then it also pushes you and pushes the room and the team forward. As Coach Seider's coming in, his credit and his worth is going to be blossomed into the fact that he's engaged in his room and has pushed them to be better when everybody on the team already thinks that they've taken the crown as being a solid unit on the team. Him coming in and taking that to a next step, he gains the respect from the team, coming in as a new coach, being able to provide value. And that's all this is about. Who can provide the value to guys that can listen and take their game to the next level?
It's very interesting because he's coming into, and you're going to hear Jadarian Price talk about this coming up. He's coming into a place where trust has to be established, right? And there's a lot of that had been established in the previous running back coach. But when you believe in yourself, like Juan Seider moves like he knows, like I'm that.
He's seen it before, yeah.
Yeah, I'm that dude. I know what I'm talking about. So my way might not be the same way. However, it's good enough to get you to where you want to go and where you need to go. So I love what he said, man. That's the way. That's your initial statement for the spring. I'm all for it. Lucky Lefty podcast. He also went on to talk about, of course, he has a deep room left, very deep room. 6 backs. Coach, can you get carries for all these guys? I mean, what are you going to do with these 6 backs?
tough. I mean, it's hard to go in a game say you're gonna play 6. To me, that's like impossible. Like I can only go back to what I done in 19. I had 4 freshmen hadn't separated themselves, so we were trying to figure out who was gonna be the guy, and then eventually we had a kid named Journey Brown separate from everybody, and then became a star player, and then you kind of balance it. Even you got a star player, he shouldn't take every snap, right? He need balance. He need to be fresh for the fourth quarter. He need to be fresh for game-winning situations. So here we got a good depth because you got J Love, you got Jadarian, you got Gibran, you got Aeneas, and you got Keegan. All those guys played. You just got to find out how you're going to fit those guys. To me, J Love need to play. He need to be on the field third down. Aeneas does a great job. Gibran need to get better. Not Gibran, those guys. To me, J Love need to play. He need to be on the field third down. Those guys. To me, J Love need to play. He need to be on the field third down. J Love need to play. He need to be on the field third down. Aeneas does a great job. Gibran need to get better. Not Gibran, but Jadarian need to get better in that aspect because if you want to play on the pro, you got to block. So, my last job, I had 2 guys. They was 1A and 1A. I mean, they was both equally as good. So they played off each other. It was every rotation. I don't think that will be here. The players got to dictate that. Right now, I can't say how it's going to play, how we going to rotate, how we going to sub. I'm so far removed from that. We don't play for a while now. So it's all about just making sure every rep we take counts.
See, he said some very subtle things there. He literally told you what Jadarian Price needs to do.
Yeah, he said he told you. If you want to play at the next level.
He told you. He came in, watched the film, and now that you think about it, that is probably one of the weaknesses of Jadarian's game. Right? Maybe that's why a freshman was the running back on third downs, because he was the most trustworthy at picking up the blitz. But he also said, man, I played it 4 times on purpose. Jeremiah Love needs to be in on third down. Jeremiah Love needs to be in on third down. I'm sure that's things that we said throughout the regular season, like, it's 3rd and 4. Why isn't J Love?
He said he needs to play. That's 7 attempts.
You picked up on that too, right?
Yeah, he needs to play and he needs to be in the game on third down. Like, what are we? He's our best player.
Message sent.
He said, I can't see it or imagine a situation of 6. He said somebody's got to prove themselves. And he said Jeremiah needs to play.
I imagine if he said that to the media, that he shared that in conversations with the coaching staff.
He's like, I'm watching film. Where's 4 at? Isn't this our best guy? Where is he at on the film? I got all these other guys. Why is he not on crucial downs? Why is he blocking for the quarterback on distances where he should be running the football? He's lead blocking through the hole. Our best running back. Lead blocking.
Got hurt against Georgia. Lead blocking.
For a quarterback that's not even here. He's the battering ram. Denbrock, you like this? This is what you guys do.
And Denbrock is like, come on, bro. You know darn well that was not my plan.
Said, did you see the guy throwing the ball last year? What? Jesus Christ.
Just having some fun, man. Just having some fun on a Saturday.
Listen, I do think overall, let's be honest, I do think at the end of the day, Coach Seider has a amazing opportunity to really put on display the talent of the guys that we're excited about, and also add. He's not subtracting from this room, even though we've had such a great standard set by Dina McCullough. Coach Seider is going to be able to be in a position where he's only elevating this room and giving them something different to look at. I think sometimes that you can add some staleness to some things that can happen sometimes where you you think you know the routine, so you get into a habit, but to develop new habits and build on top of what you've learned from Coach Seider, who can push you forward, has seen it, has coached guys that can do it at a high level. He's excited. Now, he said he had 2 guys that was equally of the same, 1A and 1A. I don't think we have a 1A, 1A situation in our room. So for Coach Seider, how do you give a hierarchy situation? Because it seems like the guys over at Penn State was just like, you go in one, I go in one. You want to go in, I go in. Because, I mean, it wasn't no different for him. If you 1A, 1A, you don't care who gets in. Just somebody go do it. Somebody go get the rock. You're not handling a depth chart. You got 3, now you get 4. You ain't doing that. So I do think that's his challenge. But overall, you're dealing with some of the better players on the team.
I think it's clear in his evaluation who the best running back in the room is. Is that fair to say, Left?
Yeah.
I think he made it abundantly clear.
And told us he needs to play more.
Who the best running back in the room is. And
And he
because
said
of that,
if the other one wants to play, he got to learn to block.
and because of that, Coach Seider also says this running back room is going to be keyed and led by that running
He's got to
back.
be the tone setter. If our best player practice hard, it makes everybody else practice hard. And that's been my challenge. You can't get comfortable. You can't get relaxed. So, and as a coach, I got to make sure I stay on him. The way he approached film study, I probably teach a lot different than the last coach. And so training his mindset to see things different. I got a big quarterback background, so I can teach him how the back end looks. So he's been eager. And it's been very refreshing when they ask questions in the meeting room, because that tells me they want to learn. They don't feel like they got it all figured out.
What will set backs apart in that room?
Set them apart. I mean, there's some guys that's just gifted in others with God-given ability. And there's some guys that got a work ethic that's going to outwork the person in front of them. And that's sometimes and they always be the best player. It's the hardest worker with talent. And you can win a lot of games with that guy because you're going to trust him, do everything you ask him to do it right. So to me, it's always about trust. Can I trust you to protect that quarterback? Because to me, everything starts with blocking. If you can't run the ball, we recruited the wrong guys. So you got to be able to block, you got to be able to catch, you got to be able to do all those other things, and also play special teams. Like in that room, you have to play special teams. It's six guys on scholarships, right? All 6 guys can't be on the field at the same time. So it's to continue to challenge these guys to get 1% better every day.
I'm going to be honest, Left. I never looked. If we recruited you, the least you can do is run with the football. That's the bare minimum. That gets you in the door. Now, once you get here, you have to be able to do all of these other things.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I do think, it's important that they expand their game. Like you said, the guys are eager to learn. They don't feel like they know everything, which is great when you're trying to accept and involve yourself into a new coaching situation, because you can look at it and say, okay, well, he's going to teach me something I don't know, and that trust will be built there that I can take and add to my game. And he's right. If you can't block, you can't play, especially this year where I'm hoping, and just like they're hoping, we can get some passing going, which means we're going to hold on to the ball a little bit longer, which means we're going to do some different things schematically where blocking is going to be at a premium. And, as much as he says it, I don't think he's going to apply that so much to Jeremiah Love. Yeah, Jeremiah Love needs to learn to block, but it's more so for the other guys to find their time. When are you going to squeeze around a Jeremiah Love, other players? And that's where blocking has to be important, because somebody's got to run the ball, like you said. And we know that he wants Jeremiah Love running that ball a good amount. And if you're going to fill around that, what other things can guys do if you're not the main ball carrier? If you're not getting 15 to 20 carries, the times you are in, how are you filling that time to role play for what we need? It might be a screen. It might be a block on 2 back-to-back plays because Jeremiah Love, his helmet came off. You never know. And you have to, just like the NBA, if you have a star player, not everybody can be the star, which means not everybody can shoot the ball. So sometimes You may have been a star player your whole life, but if you can just play defense and hit a corner three, that's going to get you on the field or on the court. We know you can score 40, but we're not asking for that. We ask you to fit around a guy that we want the ball to go through, and that's sort of how it has to be for the running backs. And that way there's a mutual respect, but also you find how you can be different within a room full of talent. That's what Jabron Payne's going to have to figure out. Where can he fit in? He's not the bruiser like Jadarian Price is, or the dynamic, electrified runner like Jeremiah Love. He's not the fresh new kid on the block like Aeneas, and not the up-and-coming problem child like a Kedra Young who has a lot that he wants to prove as well, considering all the running backs came back. Nobody graduated. So now it's more so, what can Jabron do that's in between Jeremiah Love and a Jadarian Price, but is more experienced than an Aeneas Williams, who is hot right now. I mean, if anything, you're just taking away from Aeneas, considering he's technically earned some carries. He's earned some time to get the football, and he's not a true freshman where you can just shelf him for a year. He played last year and he's active this year, so the running back rooms, like he said, is going to be tough when you got 6 guys, and realistically, in the sweet spot is to play 3. That's the sweet spot. 4, you're pushing it. 6 is impossible. So that's why he gets paid the big bucks. Another reason why Notre Dame is tough, especially at the running back position, is because it's going to be a continuously talented room. You're going to have opportunities, but you got to make some tough calls amongst a room that everybody has talent. And that's the thing, when you come to Notre Dame, you're going to have more than one guy that has talent in the room. It's not going to be like we got our first round pick and then all the fourth rounds. No, you got a first round, potential second round, a guy that's maybe a first round, you don't know yet, you got to develop. So with these running backs and the traction Notre Dame's running game is bringing, you get the cream of the crop. And as an elite coach, as a top of the top coach, you got to be able to say, I can identify and manage a roster full of elite talent. I think you're on mute.
Lucky Lefty Podcast, the original classic. Live says, LL, I'm glad you guys are broadcasting today. I'm out in my Lene queuing some ribs, and I'm having a wonderful time. Great show today. Clyde, we appreciate you for always tapping in with us and support. Don't forget Apple Podcasts, Spotify, courtesy of Believe Network, Believe Sports, Believe Notre Dame, Believe LL. Go tap in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and download all of our audio edibles on a daily basis. I wonder what type of ribs you got going, Clyde. What you got? The baby backs? You know, you got the tips on there as well. Let us know. Let us know. Because people like to say, yeah, I barbecued today. I'm not saying this is Clyde, but I know a lot of people that will say, man, I barbecued today. Yeah, what'd you cook? I made some burgers and hot dogs. That you didn't barbecue, bruh. You grilled. You didn't barbecue.
Okay.
You grilled.
You grilled. Mr. Samantha.
Clyde said he was barbecuing, bruh. That means I expect, more than burgers and hot dogs, bro. I'm suspecting that Clyde is
certain meats are considered as barbecuing, not hot dogs.
Yeah. Just like it's a difference between a barbecue and a cookout. It's a difference between a barbecue and a cookout.
What?
Absolutely.
Wait. No, it's not.
Oh, yes, it. Oh, see, man, I gotta teach you Ohio cats something.
Wait a minute.
Y'all let cats y'all let cats lie to y'all.
Oh, wait.
Come on, man.
That's the same thing, because you barbecue at the cookout.
Nah, bro. Nah, bro.
No, hold on, man.
No.
What are you talking about?
The cookout can be burgers, hot dogs. You know, when you say I'm queuing, If somebody says, yo, come through, I'm queuing, that implies
certain meats.
Certain things are on the menu.
Oh, okay. So it's a menu thing.
Okay? Certain things are on the menu at a barbecue that might not necessarily be on the menu at a cookout.
Got it. So barbecue is menu related. It's like more barbecue. It's like a menu style of way of cooking.
Hey, Justin ND Sniper. See what I'm saying? That's a requirement, bro. You can call somebody and say, fall through, left fall through. I'm queuing today. And you walk up in there and you don't see some ribs, some tips,
you're
some
like,
links,
cookout,
or some links or something. You have every right to kick the grill over. Say, man, what is this?
Kick the grill over?
Yes. Kick it over. Come on, man. What you doing? You out here disrespecting.
This is crazy. Okay.
I'm just saying. Yo, GTB from D-Mont, Mr. Food Lover. What do you own? Pellet, gas, or charcoal? Which do you prefer?
Charcoal.
I have charcoal, and then I have a smoker as well.
But do you use it?
The smoker? Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to use the smoker from my short ribs, my bone-in short ribs. Perfectly. I smoked those bad fellas on like 275, 300 for about an hour 15. Yeah.
Perfectly.
Yeah. And, I use the smoker from my brisket too.
Oh, okay.
But when I get towards the end, I actually transfer it from the smoker to the charcoal grill to kind of give it like a little char towards the end. But yeah, that gas, I can't do a gas grill. I cannot.
I'm not a fan either.
I can't do it, ladies and gents. I can't rock it. I mean, look, I understand. If I'm in a pinch and I have to use,
you'll do it if you have to.
If I have to. Yeah. Corey Dean is right. Yes. The basics and then everything else you specify. For example, barbecue chicken. Like, yeah. When you say I'm queuing, you're letting us know.
So what's the cookout? So what's the cookout menu then?
A cookout could be, some burgers. I'm making some burgers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I put a little.
Well, what are wings? What are wings considered?
Wings is cookout. That's not barbecue. I cooking some wings. You cook. That's a cookout.
You put some legs and thighs on there. You get the queuing it up with the sauce and all that. That's
left. You can queue some barbecue wings for dinner. Wait a minute. Let me explain it.
Okay.
If you throw some wings on the grill, that could be for an actual dinner with the family.
Interesting.
Are you about to sit at the grill all day and do some ribs for the family? Just for the family? No, you're not. No, you're not.
Oh, now we got family size.
You're queuing. You put some ribs on, you are queuing.
So queuing is for 5 or more. You got to have 5 or more people.
Queuing is for barbecuing, left. It's plain and simple. It's not that hard, man. I don't know why you thought the cookout and the barbecue was the same thing for years.
Because you barbecue at the cookout,
No, bro. No. And if you barbecue, you gotta have some beans.
Whether
it's spicy, whether or not you put the
stuff in there,
bacon in it,
the green peppers,
all of that, you gotta have it. That's a must. That's a must. Now, depending upon the culture, all the other sides, cookout, you might have some mac and cheese. You might have some greens at the barbecue.
Beans, though, like that. If you are
beans are universal. Beans should be universal. Beans should absolutely be universal. That's like a baked potato with a steak.
Yes,
that's universal.
Got to come with it. Yeah. Okay, so you have to have the ribs or barbecued meat, and it got to have beans.
Yeah. Now, see, Corey Dean says potato salad.
See, that's subjective. See,
That's
I've had.
subjective.
Yeah,
I'll let that.
I would agree if we had ours.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
If we went to one of our community ones,
Because our aunties make the best potato salad. Every auntie makes the best potato salad. I don't know about. Let me let you guys in on something in the black family. It's not your mother. It's your aunt. For some reason, the sister, your aunt, always makes the best potato salad. That's what she adds to the barbecue, without fail. Without fail. My mother's never made potato salad ever. It's always been.
Always the aunt.
The aunt. And it's like that for just about every family. Every family. It's always the aunt. It's the weirdest thing, man. It's always the aunt that brings the potato salad. Everything else is subjective. Like you said, you can get creative with the sides. If the wife wants to try something to impress people coming over, by all means, let her try it.
What is chili considered as? Cookout or a barbecue? If you make your chili off, like you do like a, you make your chili, is that a
you can have chili at both. You can have chili at both.
Okay, I just try to,
Yeah. See, I taught my nephew how to grill, and now my nephew is falling in love with just doing burgers and steaks. And I'm like, dude, you're not
barbecue though. Come on. Oh, no way. Steaks have got to be barbecued, man.
Nah, I'm thinking briskets, pulled pork. Nah, man.
Okay. So you can't
steaks.
Do so much
steaks. I'm leaning cookout with steaks. I'm leaning cookout with steaks. I'm leaning cookout. But you could have chili at the cookout or the barbecue. Yeah.
We gotta make another video about that. It's the rules to a barbecue and a cookout.
You gotta have that conversation. The rules to a barbecue and a cookout. Summertime is almost coming. We're gonna get you right. If anybody calls and says, "Yo, I'm queuing," you have the right.
Yeah.
To make sure they affirm and confirm the menu. You queuing?
Yeah, the menu. Confirm.
You queuing? All right, now when you say you're queuing, what does that mean?
Yes.
What's on the menu?
I have to hear
now that dictates, because you know you want to be a good guest, so you always bring something. And you always bring something.
Yeah.
So I need to know what the menu consists of to know what I need to bring.
Wrong. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I need to know what I need to bring. Right? Because if we have a cookout, I might bring, someone might bring some wine to the cookout. Yep. You're not bringing no wine to the barbecue, bro. Not the case.
You're not. That's a good point.
No, you're not bringing no wine to a barbecue.
You're not thinking wine.
You can have cheese and crackers at the cookout. You know what I'm saying? You can have all types of things. Cookout is really nuanced. There's a lot of things you could do. When you're talking about queuing, please make sure if you tell someone that you're barbecuing, I'm barbecuing today, you have to live up to that, ladies and gents.
Okay, yeah.
And if you don't live up to the menu, they have every right to pull your car. Every right to pull your car. Lucky Lefty podcast. That was a fun segment.
Right to keep the grill over.
Yeah, that was a fun segment, Left. That was a fun segment. When we come back, we'll get to the running backs and hear what they have to say. You already know. We spin it different. Lucky Lefty pal.
What's up, family? The merch shop is finally here. Lucky Lefty Network merch shop. We got it all. From the shirts to the hoodies to the hats to the nitty gritties. Come here right now. Shop with us. Come get the swag because if anything else, we spin it different. You see the gritty. You see how we get down. It's elite.
You wrap me up in the color of love.
Lucky Lefty Podcast. We hope everyone out there is enjoying their Saturday. I'm looking forward to Calipari and Patino coming up. It's a great day of college basketball. Round of 32 hopefully is going to be better than the round of 64 that really didn't give us much. A lot of blowouts. Lefty Podcast. Subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. It helps with the views. Leave your comments, questions. We respond to all. We're brought to you by Believe Network, Believe in Notre Dame, Believe in Lucky Lefty. Go subscribe, Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You'll get the audio edibles each and every day over at Believe Network. Support us, set it up with the automatic downloads. So every time we drop, like a little bit later this afternoon, we'll drop these audio edibles. Come straight to your phone. Wherever you go, LL will be right there with you because we're the home of the misguided passion. And we're forever committed to making sure that we spin it different. You know, I'm podcast PG. I didn't know the conversation. I didn't know the oop was going to go that way left. I didn't know the oop. I didn't know you were going to throw it down like that either.
Man,
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Yeah.
It was a great conversation. Great conversation. Our boy ND Milton fan. What's up, Milton? Barbecue equals unbuckling belt, likely nap, and deep regret afterwards. You got to prepare at this point in my life. I have to prepare for the barbecue, bro.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Back in the day, remember you used to hit like 2 to 3 barbecues in one day?
In one day.
And take plates to go.
Yeah.
From each spot.
I remember that.
I can't do it like that anymore, left. Can't do it. I'm with you, Milton. I have to prepare. I definitely have to prepare for the barbecue. Glad that conversation was fantastic, man. Okay, Clyde, he said he's doing spare ribs. Okay, he's doing the spare ribs. If my mom, she prefers the baby backs. My dad used to buy the full slab, and he would cut the top and make his own, man. My dad would do his own tips. He didn't buy the tips. He would cut the top off. You know, the top of the tips, he would cut it off and make his own tips, man. Woo! Shout out to my pops, man. All right, Left. Let's hear from the running backs. I'm assuming we'll go with Jeremiah Love first. I'm assuming that's who everybody wants to hear from first. Jeremiah Love, best running back in all of college football. He talked about Coach Seider and what it's been like getting to know him.
Really chill guy. Getting to know him more, starting to love him even more than I do now. It's really down to earth. He's a great coach. Brings a lot to the table. And I just look forward to, getting a better connection with him, learning more about him and his family. And yeah, he's just a chill guy.
What has he got you working on this spring to try to improve yourself?
He's trying to help us, get a better understanding of the defense. He used to be a quarterback's coach or a quarterback. I forget which one it is, but it's one of those two. So he knows, coverages. He knows what the defense is doing, what they're trying to scheme and do all that. So he wants us to get a better understanding of the whole thing, not just, reading D lineman or reading the linebacker. He wants us to understand the whole thing because that could potentially, help us to make decisions faster.
Juan Seider mentioned when he spoke to the media that, my first position that I played is quarterback. So I understand the full picture, and I'm trying to get them to look at film now from that picture. J Love talking about that. It can only add to what Dylan McCullough set up as a foundation. But why is that so important to understand the full picture pre-snap?
It's important because you just got to understand the game. Everything it happens for a reason, works off of each other for a certain purpose. So understanding the game like a quarterback, everybody's job. It helps you operate at a higher level and know what's coming and know what to expect and what you want out of the play. The best thing that you can do is understand the total aspect of the offense in terms of reading the entire situation, because then you understand what you're trying to get out of certain plays and how, once you understand that, then you know what sets up what and what's coming next. When you can be able to get so good that you know these plays are building up to the big play or something you're looking for downfield, or setting it up to do something or work a matchup. That's the game between the hedges that that you really become a master at your craft, instead of you going out there hoping for the best result from each play. You're anticipating what's going to happen and then how the defense is going to react to it, and then how you counter that. So that's the chess match that you want to start breaking it down from. And it makes sense, with these running backs, because you're standing right next to the guy that's getting the football. So you're looking at the same thing he's looking at, and there's no miscommunication or something that the quarterback may miss and the running back can pick up on, and that may save the play. You never know. So the more information and the more that you know how to do your job, the better.
So in talking about that, now we heard Juan Seider talk about having 6 backs and what's realistic for those 6 backs. Jeremiah Love was asked that question. How do you use all the weapons in the running back room? And this is what he had to say.
I guess we could say some confidence. I mean, I love, not just myself going out there and making plays. I love seeing the guys in the room do it as well. So, seeing that, he might, have that same philosophy as Coach McCullough. He might allow lots of backs to play. We don't know yet. I mean, at Penn State, he played 2 backs for the most part, from what I've seen. So we got a lot of talent in the room, and he understands that, and I just know that he'll handle that in the best way that he can, whether that be 2 of us playing, 3 of us, 4 of us. I just know he's going to put everybody in the right positions to have success and make this university look good, and make the running back room look good, and make the team look good.
From what you've seen of Jabron, how's he looking? Is he back to close to being 100%?
I mean, Jabron's 100. Really, everybody in the room is tip-top shape. Jabron's Jabron has already been solidified as, a great player. It's just he was hurt last year and he's back now. Really, no worries with anybody in the room. Everybody's got a great foundation, know what they're doing. Obviously got the freshman Nolan. He's coming along greatly. So seeing Jabron back out there gives us a little bit of just comfort. He was our third down back, I think, my freshman year, and having him back is another weapon, adding another weapon to the room. So
it doesn't go without saying, and we said this last year when Jabron got injured, that he would be missed because he was very much a leader in that running back room, right behind Aldrich Estime once he left. Even when Aldrich was here, he was somewhat of a leader in that running back room and immediately stepped into that role. And when he went down, you had young guys getting opportunities that weren't necessarily leaders. You hear Juan Seider talking about, hey, I want my best player to be the leader when it comes to work ethic. And I think Jeremiah Love is up for the challenge, but it is huge to get Jabron Payne back. And he is in tip-top shape. We're going to hear from him coming up shortly. He talks about he's in the best shape of his life. And to come back in the short time that he came back from an ACL tear is very impressive. But I think what Jeremiah Love was talking about, Left, is, subtle differences from what he saw at Penn State. Penn State mainly had 2 guys, but I don't know if the talent behind those 2 guys, Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price, per se.
Well, yeah, those 2, they're just different. Those 2 were just equally talented on a level that was greater than the room, where this talent may be different in aspects, but the separate is more than just 2 guys. You got guys that are valuable in different ways, but are still useful and can be productive It's just about managing your resources, but also not neglecting the obvious, right? You got to have Jeremiah Love carry the football at some point. So you just have to figure out the amount of carries in a game on top of how are you going to spend that to manage that roster, right? Like, you don't want guys to leave, but it's only one football. And if we're going to become more of a passing team, less carries, how do you manage that? That's really the question. So it's a good problem to have, but it's going to be interesting.
I agree with you. I think sometimes you step into a situation and you don't have to do too much. And I think Juan Seider recognizes that he stepped into a running back room where he has a foundation of how he coaches and coaches hard, but he's realized the foundation that has been laid does not need to be dug up, does not have to be repoured. It just has to be built on top of.
Yes.
So even with him saying that there are differences between him and Dylan McCullough, at the end of the day, you know, he's not recreating the wheel. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
not starting from scratch or building from the ground up at all. It's more so, how do you get 1% better in a room where guys know a lot? It's not like guys don't know anything or they are unwilling to learn. It's like, how do you push a guy that's pushed themselves already?
mm-hmm.
McCullough has challenged these guys in the right way to get to a certain point, and that's at a high elite level. So how does an elite coach go even beyond that to keep those guys engaged? And I don't want to say make it fair, but get the most out of the room, you know, in the most effective way. So nothing in life is fair, and I don't think all 6 guys will be able to play. But we know who needs to play, and then how does everybody else fit around that?
Of course, he's coming off an MCL sprain during the playoff, and he was asked about whether or not he's under any restrictions in the spring.
There's no restrictions. It's just being smart, though. There's really no reason for me to go out there and just do everything. I mean, just want to be smart. I want to keep everybody healthy because you never know what might happen. We can go out there and we can be hidden and somebody can come fucking smash me or smash my knee or something. So we don't need that. Just being smart about it.
No hurdling this spring?
No, we save those for game days.
How does Coach Seider feel about the hurdles? Does he have any requests?
He actually ain't said nothing about it yet. Coach Seider, what I've starting to understand about him, he just likes you to go out there and just play and be yourself. So he's not gonna, I don't think he's not gonna, when you get out in an open space, like try to coach you and do this and that. Just go out there and be yourself and do what you do and just make a play.
Yeah, he's definitely easygoing coach in that aspect. He's not gonna micromanage how you get it done. It's just more of knowing what it is you need to do. And it's an interesting game you play with Jeremiah Love where you're trying to get him to the season. So it's like, how much do you really take all these reps? How much are you, are we pushing to build a relationship in practice where I'm showing you different things in practice, this, that, and the third? And how much is it just keeping you safe? It's like that anxiety. You don't want to have something silly happen on the way of becoming into this last season, because this your last season, you got everything that ahead of you if you're just healthy. So, you may not be as upset if some guys get some more reps than usual in the spring, because it is about getting to the season and being smart about having your body in the right shape for that. So do I see a huge load of Jeremiah Smith this offseason or this spring? I hope it's a healthy load, just enough to say, okay, you're geared up and ready to go. He's not trying to fight for a starting spot. I don't think Coach Seider ever made that apparent to where he's like, well, the best guy is going to play. I mean, he did say that get the best guy with the most talent, or the guy that works the hardest. All these guys work hard, though, which is like funny coach speak to me because I don't think any guy that gets to this level just doesn't work hard. It's really more so who can play the best to stay the healthiest and what's the game plan. And the game plan is about Jeremiah Love. So how do you protect the asset and getting to the game? So the spring is going to be fun. It's going to be competitive, but it's not like the quarterback room where we need somebody to win the job.
Yeah.
This is just about how do we work different rotations with different quarterbacks and different rotations with different lines, and how do you work the rotations amongst running backs so everybody stays locked in, and it's more of a management situation.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, though. I'm definitely looking forward to Nolan James, Keedron Young, the youngsters that didn't get opportunities last year to see what they can do. Can they crack the lineup, get some carries, make some plays, and then see if they can impact special teams, like Coach Seider said. There's different ways to get on the field and show yourself worthy of getting more opportunities. I think they can do that. He ended the conversation talking about whether or not the restrictions and the work that he's putting in and the changes that Coach Seider is talking about, how it's going to help him get better.
This is my run efficiency, and I just want to be more of a get down, just go north type of guy. I can get a lot more yards doing that. I can test some people in their strength, whether they really want to hit. And other than that, it's just increasing my knowledge of the game, just getting a better understanding, trying to prepare myself for the next level, because when you get to that level, you got to be smart, and you got to have more of understanding of, just everything, You got to know more than just your job. And that'll help you get, farther and farther in your career, and hopefully you can play for a very long time. Yeah, just working on my running efficiency and know the game more.
What we saw Wednesday, you look good. Do you feel good now?
I feel great. It's good to be back out there, just practicing in itself. My body feels great. Just making sure that I'm staying healthy and just getting better every day.
Once again, congratulations to him and Christian Gray receiving that fantastic award from the city of St. Louis and having a day celebrated in their honor in the off season. But yeah, I love the fact that he's back healthy. I love the fact that they're taking it easy with him. There's no need. Allow him to get stronger. As long as he's learning the mental side of the game, I'm not worried about his natural ability showing forth once he steps out there. But he wants to be more of a north-south runner. What are your thoughts about that, Lev?
Yeah, I mean, it's the shortest distance between 2 points.
That it is.
Straight line, and I think Graham was protecting himself, but a lot of that is you just want to play with the opportunity to make bigger plays, and running at angles is cool, but if you can run straight north and south, get what you can, you still show the value of getting positive yards. You just don't want to have so many negative carries. It's just one of those probably running back efficiency things that we talk about moving forward, especially if we're going to become more of a passing team. We need very much so north and south running, because when those runs do come in, we need 4 to 5 yards or 6 to 8 yards on a carry to set up the pass, right? So I'm excited to see how Jeremiah Love can tweak his own game and challenge his own self and push his own game to make it greater than what we think it is now. And he can do that with not a fresh start, but with a new fresh pair of eyes.
Mm-hmm.
New eyes laid on him and hands put on him where they can mold him just a little different. Like we said, we're not starting from scratch. So that's always good knowing that we got somebody that's going to be right there.
That's right. Lucky Lefty podcast. So, man, is Jadarian Price the Scottie Pippen of this running back room? He was asked what sets him apart, Left. Hey, Jadarian, what sets you apart from everybody in the room?
Yeah, I think I'm the most explosive in the running back room. Like you said, we all have our strengths and weaknesses, and spring is the time to work on your weaknesses. And I try to stay away from focusing on my strengths. Like, what are my weaknesses? What can I work on? And we're all doing that.
So what are you focused on? What are you working on?
Pass pro, slowing the game down. I feel like I get a little antsy at times. So.
How has Nolan kind of fit into the group so far?
Yeah, he's, just like any other freshman that comes in fresh out of high school. It can be hard. The college playbook is a lot harder and more intense than, high school and the schedule. So I feel him. I've been in his shoes before, but that's good that we've all been in his shoes before, and we can teach him the ways and guide him. But he's a really hard worker, and he's a great addition to the running back room, which is the standard is hard work and being disciplined. So he's a good addition to it.
He reminds me of a guy that believes a lot in rank. He's like, yeah, freshmen stay freshmen. Stay out my way.
It did sound like that a little bit. Like
yeah, they're pups. We just had to train the little pups up, right? And he does sound as if like he's like, look, I'm no different than what y'all think the other guy is. I just some things I can clean up, but hey, I am.
He said he thinks he's the most explosive in the room, left.
Yeah. He definitely got some Scotty in him. It's not that we don't think you're explosive. Same thing with Scotty. Scotty had the great physique. He could, add a lot to a team, offense and defensively. He just didn't have the star factor or the it factor that Michael Jordan had. It's no different than Jeremiah Love just got the star factor. You get to doing this in the camera and all that, jumping over people and all that. He just got the star factor with it. So it just happens like that sometimes. You think you can be equally talented and probably in some aspects. But nobody's just going to give you the credit because they like, he just got it. So, does Jadarian Price have a point? Could he be the most explosive? Yeah, he probably got some explosive, power lifts. He probably got a faster little stuff like a 10-yard start. We know he's fast. We know he can run. He's kick return, punt return. You know what I mean? He does all the stuff that you can be like, you need an explosive guy for. But he's just not for. You know what I'm saying? He's just not. Like, you want us to game for Texas A&M, Jadarian, but you're just not the other guy. You don't have one of these. You ain't doing this in the camp. And it's a perception thing, and I hope it doesn't, weigh on him too much of the love that's gonna be given. That's like no different than the CJ and Kenny story. No matter what CJ does, they're just gonna be, man, CJ invented football. And Kenny gonna be like, guy, he ain't even taking reps.
See, that's why that's why just in life, the people that know better than I pay attention to them, and I normally will follow their lead.
Yeah.
As much as people say, Jadarian is this, Jadarian is that, it's a reason why Dylan had Love as the lead horse.
It's the reason why. Yeah.
It's a reason why Juan Seider is saying, Jeremiah Love needs to be on the field on third down. And
Darian Price need to learn to block if you want to go to the next level.
There is clearly something that the coaches that have been doing it for years see that is a separator between the two.
They know that
there's a difference.
And it's not saying that JD is not better or worse.
No.
There's stuff that happens that this guy just does, and he just...
The dude made a one-handed catch running a route. I think Juwan Seider said he's the best route runner at running back. He's been coaching him for a month. He's saying this about Jeremiah Love. It's like, Jadarian Price, you don't run routes like that, bro.
You just don't run routes like that. You can catch the ball, though. That's the thing. Like, it's not about being able to get it done. It's the way he can make it look compared to the way you make it. You're not one-handing it, making it look do all that. Yes, you can run just as fast to the route. You 2 hands, tuck it, you're gonna do everything that they ask you to. But Ford just got the little extra. It's like, okay, yeah, you're. Jadarian Price sound like those point guards that are like 5'10", 5'9" in college and lead college basketball in scoring and don't get drafted. He's like, dude, I'm the leading college scorer. Yeah, but the
Nah,
NBA,
that's a bad comp. That's a bad
no.
I see the direction you're going, but that's a bad comp. That's a bad comp.
He gets numbers and he does right.
No. He is Scottie Pippen the year Mike went to play baseball.
Yeah,
that's what he is.
Yeah,
and then you see next year if he stays, because more than likely I think Jadarian is going to need to stay another year.
I think he will,
in my opinion. So when he leaves, can he be the lead horse the same way that Ford was? That's going to be very telling. Or does he get caught? Yeah. Does he get caught by a youngster? That's going to be telling, in my opinion.
Yeah, like for instance, Jeremiah Love gets the Porsche, JD gets the nice Jeep. You know what I'm saying? It's they 2-car NIL deals. One is that Porsche Panamera.
Mm-hmm.
With all the bells and
that Porsche Panamera.
It's a bad moto.
That's a bad moto. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Or you get an NIL deal and you get
it is. Yes, it is. My boy has one, a black one with the cranberry interior.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Wait. All right, every time I see it, I say,
You're doing it. Yeah, you're doing it. And see, Jeremiah Love got a nice car NIL deal, but it's an F4 150. It's nice, but it ain't no Panamera. It's on a Friday night. It's two different responses.
Hey man, look,
the Panamera roll past you. You like, yeah.
See, you caught on.
That F150 come by, you like, oh, what's up? That's JD. Oh, what's up, J? Different love.
But hey, it's kitted out though. JD's F-150 is kitted out though.
It's kitted out. It's not.
It's kitted out. It's definitely kitted out.
But that Panam,
yeah,
it's nice. They both nice. It's just a little different.
Yeah, I feel you. Lucky Lefty podcast. Jadarian Price was asked about what's different with Coach Seider being in the room.
Everyone has to earn your trust. Doesn't matter who you are, player, coach, and 2 practices in, about a month in. I feel like he's earned our trust, and he's a great coach. You've seen what he's done past decade. I trust what he's saying, and I've learned a lot in a month. So yeah.
What's just kind of his teaching style and like the meeting rooms and his personality in there?
Yeah, first, one thing that really stood out is he's a former quarterback. So a lot of things that he says is in quarterback terms, and it really helps us understand the whole picture and think like a quarterback. Sometimes we don't need to. Sometimes it actually helps.
So now that he's JD, gave a little bit more on that quarterback look thing. I'm thinking, like when you're hearing the quarterback, especially the way Notre Dame plays, the running back is usually right next to the quarterback, not behind him. So now you get to hear and see everything pre-snap from a very similar point of view in the Notre Dame offense. So now when you hear what the quarterback is saying, or audible or check, or if the quarterback controls the line of scrimmage direction of the offensive line, now you have a full understanding of that. Rather than just knowing the play, now you know everything, whether you're getting the ball or whether or not you're pass protecting. I think for both he and Jeremiah Love to point to the point of view of him being a quarterback, I think that means something. For both of them to say, yo.
Quarterback giving you the cheat sheet to the test. He's not just giving you the study exam or the practice exam of what it could look like. He's giving you the answer sheet. But this is how you answer this question. This is not this is not the context clues.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you hints. I'm gonna give you the answer and why we doing it and how we gotta. So those are the things that are impressive to a running back guy because usually it's about your job.
Yeah.
Thing about learning from a quarterback is you learn everybody's job. So now it just makes more sense in the picture of why they're doing certain things. So you know how you can navigate off of that. Okay, I know it's supposed to hit a gap, but we're playing against this really good 3-tech who's closing down on that. And if I hit it backside fast enough as opposed to front side, and I know it before the snap because I'm anticipating the look, that's the difference between getting through the hole and getting tackled in the hole. Because I'm hitting that backside before the defense gets there because I'm film study, because I know the quarterback way of looking at it, because I know how they're shifting and what the defense wants to do to us. So these are the things that you get 1% better on as you are already self-entitled as first, second round pick or potential draftee. It's no different than Xavier Watts. In the hardest year he probably had was this year. It's just me guesstimating, only because you coming off of a defensive player of the year trophy. I mean, last year there was nobody better than you at the defensive position. How do you get better from that point the next year? Oh, you just follow it up by leading the nation in tackles over Caleb Downs and the other guy from Georgia and have more picks. And so those are the things he did, which shout out to Mike Mickens for even knowing the roadmap on how to guide a guy like Xavier Watts and Benjamin Morrison, two great superstars with two different paths the year after. Xavier Watts had an incredible year after and had to learn how to get better 1% wise. Benjamin Morrison and the year after got hurt, and how does he stay impactful and valuable and engaged and as a player that's going to go to the league still? Both guys going. Mike Mickens has the ability to be able to help both of them understand that path. So for a guy like Seider, helping those guys in the running back room just get 1% better, that'll be a huge difference in the way that we can transform this offense.
Let's go to Jabron Payne. He returns from injury, and he talked about his return and how he's feeling going into the spring.
Jabron, what's just kind of been like the last year been like for you, just working your way back and getting to the point you're at right now?
It's been really good, getting my mental back, physical obviously, really just putting in the work and, you know what I'm saying, trying to get back on the field as quick as possible.
And then where were the physical improvements you were able to make, even despite going through rehab and all that?
I'm more lean, so I got like more lean muscle. My knee is obviously back 100%. I feel like I just got stronger all around, got faster, mechanical work, everything like that. So I feel like I'm 100% ready to go.
What were you able to really kind of learn about yourself sitting out and watching this past year?
It was just a real mental game, learning the game at a deeper level mentally. Obviously the physical part is there, and the mental was there too, but just getting a stronger understanding, slowing the game down, everything like that. Just learning how to be patient, mastering patience, everything like that. You know, sitting on the sideline, it's not easy. So yeah, I feel like I mastered those.
Good to hear him feeling good. Good to see him in good spirits. And I tip my cap, as I said before, to have a kid like that, a serious injury, looking at opportunity, having the two guys in front of him, being a third down back and seeing a true freshman become the third down back. It's a lot of things that he went through that rehab that could have spurred him to leave, right? But
Yeah.
he's here. He's here, and he has the respect in that room when you hear Jeremiah Love point to and speak about what he meant and, you know, what he means to that room to be back. You know, you're happy for that young man that he stuck it out and that he's going to be on this this team. come this fall?
Yeah, it's cool to see him give it the good old college try. I think if anything, he's gonna have some good spring film and then decide after that because of how the transfer portal works. But it's one of those things where it's a crowded room and you're dealing with a coach that is 2 coaches removed from your recruiting coach in that position. So he really don't got no reason that you're definitely not his guy. So you feel him out in the spring and in the reps and how they do you to see if it's worth staying. But when you're 2 coaches removed from you and how you got there and you coming off injury and the success of the younger guys that they're having, it doesn't take much for them to look over you if you are slow at all and working your way into the group. So it's just an interesting thing. I don't think it's necessarily his fault. It's just the way college football works at this speed and rate. You're not like a tight end where you can be a 7th-year tight end floating around. You playing running back, and being that you're coming from injury with 3 guys that are all coming back and are all going to be a year better, and you're trying to find your way involved in that and be different. I mean, it's a tall task to ask for because it's halfly and partly unfair, and some of it. What can you do with that? I mean, what can you do? You're not going to be the starter. So what is worth 2nd, 3rd rate, 4th rate carries? Like, what is that? How do you impact the team? So it's a lot to think about, more so from a schematic standpoint than it is, I can prove I'm the whatever. Because proving anything on that level is all subjective anyway. You know what I mean? Like, you could just like a guy better. It doesn't make it that, so I think for him, fill it out if he's comfortable taking 2nd, 3rd rate type of carries, which in an offense that I'm assuming we're trying to pass the football more, was just putting him at about maybe 5, 6 carries a game, maybe. Is that worth it? See, that's a difference between Jabron getting 5 or 6 carries in a game as opposed to Jeremiah Love getting 7 or 8 carries in a game. Jeremiah Love can make that happen. But Jabron, 5, 6 carries in a game, how much impact? What are you going to do? This is provided, obviously, everybody stay healthy, but it's a tough position to know what you're going to walk into, because even I don't know how they can sell you on a dream, because you just see how it is. It's like, okay, I got 3 guys ahead of me with a potential 4th that they're excited about. I'm 2 coaches removed from my coach that brought me here. I just coming off of a year-long injury. I was already floating in the 2 or 3 spots, but now Jeremiah Smith is taking over as the dude. He's the number 1 guy. So what am I battling for 2 and 3 possible carries? I know I'm not. I should be in the 2s, but the way Jadarian talking, he said he's the most explosive back in the room. So it ain't even no room at 2. Aeneas ain't gonna sit down. He's turning up. So what are you gonna do? And Aeneas is getting the scrap carries and stuff. So there's only 1 football, and we're gonna be able to throw that thing even more. So I don't know.
Man, you're talking about, now the passing game improves, more attempts. Yeah, Aeneas Williams, he talked about what's different with him.
I'll just say knowledge and preparation, a little bit ahead. I'm no longer learning the basics, really. Now I'm just mastering my craft and, the small details to separate myself.
And then what was just the last year like for you? Just kind of stepping in early and then getting a little bit early playing time and then playing a national title game?
Yeah, it was just, good to get everything thrown at me. Now I can say I played in the biggest stages, played in the biggest game. So, it's a little humbling for sure coming into this year, knowing I played in the biggest stages already. But, it was nice to be able to, get my feet a little wet and everything. So, yeah, I just think coming in with a lot of experience in the year 2 is going to just help me.
And then the number switch, I know you were 22 in high school, but is there any meaning behind that or anything?
Yeah, I've always grew up Emmitt Smith fan, so 22. My birthday happens to be on the 22nd, so just a number I've seen a lot in my life, and then, you know, had a great career in high school with it. So I'm gonna stick to my roots, let all the Hannibal people, you know, maybe they have some 22 gear back home, make it easier on them.
I'm a big fan. He's an Emmitt Smith fan. You learn something new every day. I see what the versatility. He built his game. His game is very much like Emmitt. Emmitt was a great receiver out the backfield, great runner, third down back, really good blocker. Some of his best plays was him picking up blitzes on big plays for Troy Aikman. Look, I like that. That connection, now I get it. And now I get the number swapped to 22 from 20. Like what I heard from Aeneas, man. You heard what he said. The basics, I'm done with the basics. Now I'm mastering. Just separate myself.
He's not taking a step back.
No.
In regards to Jabron conversation, like you trying to find your groove in the midst of all of this. In the midst of Aeneas Williams telling you, I'm learning more. I'm mastering my craft. I'm trying to get more. I had a taste. I'm trying to get the meal. Jeremiah Love he's gonna get a meal. Darian Price think he the most explosive in the room. So wait a minute. Where does Jabron fit in? We ain't talked about Devin Ford. We ain't talked about Keedron Young. Guys that at the end of the day, it's gonna be a hard decision to make. Now every game doesn't have to be the same, which we saw through the season, but that was with 3 guys and putting one on ice. And one was hurt. Everything healthy, you got 6 backs and what to do. Because in reality, with the offensive line we're going to have, all 3 of those guys, all six of those guys can be productive. I wouldn't say with the offensive line that we had that we're in trouble if any of them had to solely, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, Jabron Payne was a spring MVP before he got hurt.
People forget that. Yeah. That was the buzz.
Pick of the spring draft was Jabron Payne. So now you go fast forward 2 years later, Jeremiah Love jumping over people and all them hurdles later. I mean, it's just the problem is Jadarian Price being the 2. Is that he's like, look, I should be the 1. Jeremiah's Love is the 1, but he's going to have to get the ball more.
Yeah.
Jabron's coming back from injury trying to find the ball, and Aeneas wants more ball. Keedron Young, like, I'm off the shelf. I'm off the porch. I'm in the game. Like, y'all, yeah, I'm here. Like, there's no more.
Keedron Young's Jimmy Butler. I'm not the little brother no more.
No, I'm not.
You know what I mean?
I need carries.
Yeah.
I see what Aeneas did, and I ain't have my blocking in my hands right, but I'm older now. Not to mention any of these freshmen that are coming in. You know, that's not to mention the freshmen coming in. So it's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah. Speaking of the young bull, my young bull, Keedron Young, what you got for me, Keedron? Welcome.
Just really getting better every day, you know, taking it day by day. Like I said, same thing I said last year, taking it day by day. It's my sophomore year, so I've learned stuff from the guys last year, like D Ford, you know, guys like him. So just learning from JD, J Love, all the older guys, and just, you know, keep getting better.
And then what are just your first impressions of Coach Seider?
Oh, great coach. Even like he has great character, great man. Met his wife also. She was very nice, very sweet. So we love Coach Snyder. We're going to keep on going.
I've heard he's low-key funny. Is that?
Yeah, he's funny. Like I said, he has great character for sure. For sure, he makes us laugh.
What do you feel your strengths are that you bring to the table for this squad?
I feel like I can do really anything. God-given talent, and then just stuff I learned from my coaches. You know, footwork, pass catching, blocking, running the ball, like everything I can do. But that's just from, you know, taking coaching and just, you know, being, very attentive to what I'm learning.
It's a talented room. How do you work your way into getting playing time?
Like I said, really just learning from the other guys. That's how you get better. You don't get better just by going out there and just, lollygagging and just going out there just to play. I also want to learn. So I'm just learning from, the older guys, just incorporating that into my game.
Similar to Coach McCullough, Coach ZAIRE used a lot of different running backs at Penn State. I guess how does that give you a little bit of confidence to know that you could potentially work your way up to?
I think the same way last year, like we had 3 running backs rotate last year, and even I got some playing time. So I think it's very exciting that even though we also have 6 running backs, we're all talented, and it's gonna be a great season, a great group. We're gonna go out there and work.
Kid has a really great attitude. I would say all of these guys have great attitude, but in having a great attitude left on the inside, they all want to play. Like, you keep it a buck. You have the greatest attitude in the world. All of these guys want to play, but I'm happy that Notre Dame has them rather than not having them in the running back room. And we'll deal with whatever we have to deal with after the spring. Like you said, Left, if a decision has to be made, then you support the young men making the decision they feel like is best for them.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
Lucky Lefty Podcast. Thank you, everybody, for tapping in today. Thank you for the great conversation. The chat lit as always. Believe Network. And don't forget, for all the great merchandise, go to LuckyLeftyPod.com. That's LuckyLeftyPod.com for your hoodies, your crews, your t-shirts, and hats. Trucker hats will be coming soon. LuckyLeftyPod.com. And don't forget, support us. Believe Network. Believe in Notre Dame. Believe in Lucky Lefty. We believe in you. Love you guys. Thank you for the support. Subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. And then make sure you leave your comments and questions. We respond to all. So, Left, until Monday, we bid everyone adieu. Blessings to you. Have an incredible weekend. Enjoy your barbecues. If you're barbecuing like Clyde down there in Florida, and if you're having a cookout, enjoy that as well. Lucky Lefty Podcast. Enjoy the tournament like I'm about to go do. But most of all, you got to make sure that you continue to spin it different. We'll holler.